Okay, Don, it's over to you, buddy.
Yeah, and yeah, of course the base of the lathe is the bed, which is, well, in the old day it was always a cast iron and a lot easier to do. Modern lathes tend to come out of fabricated from steel, but all the old buggers are castings. And the headstock is normally bolted on separately. This one's got screws up from underneath and little alignment screws to get it all lined up during manufacture. Now the tailstock, got to have one of those, of course. This is quite a nice one. It's they even went to the trouble of putting oil nipples on it so you can keep it nicely oiled up. The saddle is they didn't actually put any felt preventers there. They put them across the front, which is close to the business end, which is not too bad. Now the chucks, it came with two of them when I bought it, a 3-jaw and there's a 4-jaw over there somewhere, I hope. Yeah, oh, 4-jaw, yeah, that's right, you got it there. Yeah, I crossed that out. That's the one. Now the tool post, when I originally got it, it was a simple little thing that only held one tool at a time. So I bought this as an extra and put it on later, and you can have 4 tools in it and just swap round to what you want. It's got a 45-degree fitting as well, but it won't go back the other way. You've got to keep going anti-clockwise, but that doesn't mean much. And another thing that's damned important is the tailstock chuck. If you want to drill holes and pieces of rotating work in the chuck, you've got to have something to hold the drill. Now quick change gearbox is bloody handy. That'll give you fine feeds for fine finishing work. And also with this controller's handle on top, you can get thread pitches for screw cutting. Very essential. Now the lead screw on this thing is, yeah, I don't know whether it's got one or not, I don't think so. No, it just relies on that lead screw to give you travel that way for fine feeds and for screw cutting. Oh yeah, and felt bed wipers, it's only got them on the front there. And this here, I started to write something but got mistaken. Now the lathe operation manual, now that's a damned good point for somebody learning the trade, and it needs to be read thoroughly before you get too involved with it, because it's got some good points and catches and things like that to avoid. Then coming down not the actual lathe itself, but essential things to go with it. Not normally bought when you purchase the lathe, but you get it later. And then the skim that you mentioned, and I don't know what a crew is, but I think it's supposed to be screw cutting. About the only thing you need there is perhaps another chart to replace that. It'll give you all the settings for the various pitches of threads. Now, I suppose it's supposed to be drill. Well, about the only drilling we do on a lathe is in the chuck and the tailstock, boring straight into a rotating job. Doesn't have to be a round job, it can be any other shape in the forejaw. Now you need to be able to hone some jobs if you want a very specific finish on them. Got to hone them with very fine wet and dry paper. You can use a stone, and then grit often comes handy as well. Now clothing, short sleeves recommended, so you don't get caught up in a revolving job and dragged into it. Not so serious on a small lathe like this, but it could be bloody dangerous on a larger lathe. If you get tied up in this thing, the belt just slips, and you probably get hurt, but not a permanent damage. Now, thread gauge. That's a rather important gizmo. Now, where the hell is my thread gauge? Oh yeah, here they are. See, this one is for measuring metric pitches, and this one is for the old stuff like Whitworth, BSF, American threads and things like that. Our dial indicator, that's a rather essential thing if you want to set things up very accurately for rotation. Now this one's got a magnetic base. You can press the button and it'll stick to the lathe and won't fall over. And very handy with the, that's marked in thousandths of an inch. Each division is a thousandth of an inch. Now if you want one, if you're a metric man, you've got to get one in metric calculation. Now centre drills, now they're rather essential. Now I had to use one yesterday. If you pass that ball, see that ball? Yeah. See, I had to put a centre drill in it to maintain it. So what I did was jacked up the 3-post tool post, and I had that in the chuck and had the tool post out here on the blank and got it running nice and true. Then I put the centre drill in it, then I removed that bracket away and just ran in this live centre, which is very handy. If you use a plain centre, you've got to be very careful not to overheat it and burn the point, and you soften the damn thing, and that can be a problem. So a revolving centre is the best way to go. Now, an oil can's essential on a lathe. You'll see quite an assortment over here. One of them has got a fine oil in it for in the headstock, but not many lathes come out now with plain bearings. Like that Boxwood down there is roller bearings and they're greased, and so you only need to do that about once a year. But this one, you've got to make sure it's full and open the little thing, and you can see the drips going down through the sight glass. And if you've got a big hefty job on it, you need the drips coming a bit faster. Cutting fluid's another essential thing. Now this thing hasn't got a pump on it, so what I use is this stuff. It's all set to go. And you can just squeeze the thing lightly and put a bit of cutting fluid where you want it, and you get a better finish on the surface that the tool has left behind. Now hand broom, that's rather essential to sweep the shavings out of the tray. And then smaller brushes, they're bloody handy. And a small paintbrush is very good for getting into corners and things like that, which are a bit small for a hand broom. Hearth shovel's rather essential to clean up the swarf in the tray and get it and dispose it in a bucket to go to the rubbish tip or something like that. Quite good. Now paintbrush, yeah, 1 inch and 2 inch for getting into corners. Now cleaning cloth, not just one cloth but a stack of them from old clothing or something like that. Cut the buttons off and that sort of thing, and they can keep things nice and clean. Now, yeah, industrial oil, well, we spoke about that, but about a 50 grade is what I use. Nothing too thin, and as I said to you up there, I just get an industrial oil rather than an automotive oil. Now, hex keys, they're essential on this lathe. Now, this little one came with the lathe. For moving that screw there, you see it's in back gear at the moment, and there's a reduction or 2 reductions there, plus the reductions on the belt itself. So I had it set up, sorry, wrong button, had it set up turning very slowly while I was screw cutting, so I could see what was going on and didn't get left behind. Now, set spanners. Now, a few of them, not a great heap of spanners, but this one's very good from, it'll lock things up, and this old one here is for locking the saddle down. So I had that locked down yesterday with the bracket on it to hold the shaft so that this wasn't bloody moving, and I did all the work with that until I got the centre drilled in it, then took all this other gear away and then got the saddle moving again for the actual screw cutting itself. And I worked on 9/16 diameter 18 threads per inch, and it's still set up on 18, and that's the pitch I got. Yeah, a set spanner to lock saddle against movement when you're trying to do something else, or if you're facing off something with the cross slide, you don't want this moving away and stuffing up the setting. So that's got to be locked so it doesn't bugger off. Now, a drill diameter gauge. Now that's a handy thing to have. Sometimes you can go into somebody's workshop and they've given the drill a hard life, and you cannot see the bloody size on the drill. So that's all the fractional sizes from 1/16 to half an inch, rising in 64th each drill. Bloody handy thing to have. Now, counter reset bit set.
And the last one down there is a spotlight. Well, that's our 15 minutes up, Don, so I'm going to turn this off now. So thanks very much for our first
That's right,
video.
so spotlight is rather essential if